Good morning, evening, morning, late morning, Lorain. Hey guys, late night unplanned podcast here. Not expecting too many people to show up. Figure it'll be watched a lot later. Kind of wanted to go over some things tonight. Just want to talk about things that bother me, things I see, things I know, things I don't want to know, and how to deal with people with PTSD and ADHD and anxiety. First, I'd like to start out by saying if you judge somebody by the tone of their speech, you're kind of an a-hole. Like, look, guys, I get everyone out there in whatever world you live in believes that everyone speaks to everyone a certain way, a certain tone, certain this, certain that. Some of us have PTSD. Some of us have anxiety. Some of us talk like this all the time. Ain't like amped up. Like that's just how we talk. It's not we're being aggressive. It's how we talk. So I bring this up because I went to a meeting tonight where that was a problem. How we talk in Vermilion Township. How we talk was a problem. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's figure this out. Like, so, well, you're being aggressive. Am I? So, for those of you out there who understand what PTSD, ADHD, and anxiety look like, when people talk and they talk like this all the time, that's not them being aggressive. So, if someone asks you a question like that, say the fire chief of Vermilion Township, and says, well, why were you bothered by that? Well, because you guys are breaking a lot of Open Meetings Act rules and you're doing pretty much what you want to do. It's kind of annoying, but why do you care? And again, in the process of our conversation, it became, well, because you're being aggressive. Okay. So I'm explaining this to people. Verbiage is not aggressive. Tone is not aggressive. Now, you can say I'm being aggressive, but it doesn't mean you're right. If I'm not in your face, if I'm 8 feet away from you, 10 feet away from you, and we're having a discussion and you don't like my tone, that's not me being aggressive. That's you being a sensitive little girl. I don't know what to tell you. I'm tired of it. I don't have to be a social worker anymore. You guys made sure of that. So what you did was you took away all the work I did back here by continually complaining to every job I worked at, right? Like that's what McCann did. That's what Aaron Bober did. That's what Lorain is about, right? You guys all said when I said I was going to get Hall elected, we was going to give you a job, right? Well, guess what? He didn't. I applied for one right after I lost this last job, and I haven't heard back yet. And I'm assuming that that's because the county can't hire me because, well, I'm about to sue the shit out of them. That's fine too. I don't really care anymore. I'm not really trying to hide a lot anymore. I'm doing what I do. I watched someone like JD Tomlinson roll out and do what he wanted to do. I watched others do what they wanted to do. And I've watched as corruption has reigned supreme in Lorain, both in townships and in counties and in cities. And I've gone to places like Vermilion Township, and I watched what they were doing. So what I saw was a board in disarray. If I'm looking at it from a personal perspective, yeah, maybe they were hit hard from other people prior to this, but in the grand scheme of things, what did they do? They're just the biggest train wreck as everyone else. The problem is no one in Ohio reads their own rules. City councils, state representatives, federal representatives, no one knows the law. The very laws they pass, right? They pass them. They're their laws. So it cracks me up when someone says, hey, Mike, we didn't understand. What? You didn't understand your own laws that you wrote, you signed off on? Like, I posted numerous times, like, well, all right. Lorain's Ethical Code 31. It's in their employee manual. It refers to employees and elected officials, and it covers all of that. But they don't care. It covers everything we're dealing with, but they don't care. I get it. You guys want to believe that the Garen Petty thing wasn't a planned event from a year before. You want me to believe that they hadn't been planning this all along and I showed up out of the blue and ruined it all, like I always do. Some higher power keeps throwing me in the way of these people. Now, understand, I got a veterans business, so I could sit here and do nothing if I wanted to. I could just sit right here, do nothing. But instead, I choose to better my community. I choose to go out and do these things. I choose to write articles and be present in these community events because I feel like you, the people, deserve the right to know exactly what we're selling, right? The government works for us. So when I went to this Vermilion Township meeting, I think these people forgot they work for us. They forgot in reality that they have an obligation to us. So when I see the Vermilion Photoshop lady, the local newspaper, holding her phone like this on her arm, like she's not looking at me, but she's videoing me, right? So I just looked at her and went, I was on my own camera. I was like, look, if you want to photo me. But why video me in secret? Why hold your phone here and act like it's a big deal? I was videoing everyone in that meeting, being very open and honest about it. I wasn't doing this while looking at the meeting and videoing right at Aaron. And maybe you were videoing somebody next to me. I don't know. But this was directly after you'd engaged me in the break about whether they had the right to go to executive session, which I never said they didn't. I just felt it was very communist of them to do what they did. For record, Vermilion Township has been under fire lately. They lost a couple of administrators or town council people, whatever they call them there. And so these trustees are gone. So they lost one, then they lost another. And I have been led to believe a lot of that's from the active reporting of the organization I'm with now. And then they lost their town administrator. So they're in limbo. So I went there tonight and watched this, what I can only describe as a train wreck of a meeting. Now I get it. Maybe they're in transition. So they are. That's not maybe. They are in transition. But I saw a lot of things that bother me. Like, why is their law assistant prosecutor there? All right. If he's their law director, that's one thing. But he's their assistant prosecutor. So why would you have the assistant prosecutor sitting there? And why is he whispering to the financial officer? That's a violation of Open Meetings Act. I don't know. At the end of the meeting, you have a fire chief trying to argue with me about my tone. And I've told a lot of people this. Look, guys, if you don't like my tone, I don't care. Because when I changed it to, oh my God, would you prefer I talk to you this way? Does this make you feel better? And he said, no, it doesn't. Well, then what is it? What tone will make you feel great? And so for everyone that would say, well, that sounds demeaning. Every tone sounds a certain way. Every voice sounds a certain way. So are we to judge every person on their voice? I have ADHD, PTSD, and the TBI. So when I talk, I sound like this always. It's not there, later, whatever. And the guy, in the moment, the fire chief guy, wanted to go like, well, look, you're not going to play a player, basically, right? You're not going to out-spider the spider. You're not going to build a bigger web than me. I'm the original OG spider. No, he didn't say that. He said something in the moment. I don't remember what it was. I can look it back up in the video, but I don't want to. And the grand scheme of things is that he was being snarky. And I was like, well, but hear me out. So I explained it to him. It's like, his argument was, well, what if you were on a fire scene and I wanted you to move back? Well, that's different than me sitting in a city council meeting and you wanted to ask me a question after the meeting's over about why I didn't like the photojournalist who was sitting at the city council's table of honor without actually being a part of the city council. Kind of blew my mind. I look at this, whatever this is in the township of Vermilion, and I go, so you got people resigning, people coming, people going. You got people making stuff up. You got executive session after executive session. You got Open Meetings Act violations. If you have a news reporter sitting on your board, I don't even know what she's doing there. Half the time, if she wasn't videoing me, she was putting on her phone. And she had her audio recorder on to record the meeting. I get it. Old school, baby. Best way to do it. But why did you do this? Vermilion photojournal. I would ask you this now in the absence of the Vermilion Township Fire Chief, who apparently thought it wise after a guy gave him advice on contacting Mayor Bradley about PFA lawsuits to just be a jerk and be like, well, why did you think that was a problem? Well, it doesn't matter why I thought it was a problem. Was I even talking to you? No. I was talking to my editor. But you interjected in our conversation and then asked me for an answer. When I gave you the answer, you didn't like it. When I gave you the second answer, you didn't like it. When I gave you the third answer, you became a jerk. That's how our government works. So when you go, well, Aaron, what about, why don't you this with the Democrats, this with that? They don't want to hear me. Your Democratic elected representatives do not want to hear me. Why? Because I represent you. And I don't give a crap. That's it. That's the only reason. Like, I literally do what's right, not what's monetarily expedient. So get that through your thick-ass skulls, government. Because I'm coming for you and I'm not going away. You can go after all my jobs. You can get me fired from Crossroads. You can get me fired from private practice, if that's even possible. It's more like contract ended, which it did. I was at the 1 year mark of my contract. You called in, whatever. At this point, I'm getting my veterans pension, so I know that I have my pay. So with that, now it's all about you, Lorain. And tonight it was about Vermilion Township. I'll be writing some stories on that. But for everyone's record, if you're within an hour driving distance of me, it's about you. Remember that. And when I come for you, don't ask why. I don't want to see more people in my other pages saying, oh, why? Well, how about this? It's none of your business. We're going to ban them. We're going to block them. We're going to do what we got to do. We're going to get this shit squared away. We're going to make the page a happier, healthier place for everyone to come to and be a part of. We're going to provide information and knowledge that people of Lorain need and want. And in the end, if we form a column for Ask Aaron or criminal section, I'll fill that out too. But until then, we don't have it, so don't come asking. So bottom line is that if you come to me in public and say, you don't like the way my tone is or my sound is, I'm going to give you the same answer every time. My sound, my tone is your opinion and not something you can hold against me in a court of law. So please stop. And that's, that's my mindset. That's how I say it. So again, I will say it once again for the 1,000th time. Don't challenge me. Don't block me. Don't touch me. And don't question me. Like, you work for me. You're the government. And I want every government to remember that. Like, you work for the people. So don't run your yaps. Do the right thing. Understand people are watching. A little bit later tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to upload all the videos from the Elyria Township meeting, as well as a swearing in of their latest trustee, who I'll be writing a story about later tomorrow. So, again, tune in tomorrow for all the latest news on Vermilion Township and all the things going on there. Again, for those that are on my page and around that know this story, that know me, just know that's my stance. Thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. I know it's a little bit late, so thanks for popping in here and checking me out. Make it a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.